At 73, David Byrne has found a profound sense of happiness in both his music and life, largely thanks to his iconic band Talking Heads. Imagine stepping into the pink room of an upscale Mayfair hotel, where David Byrne, dressed in a sharp pink suit, glides into his seat with a radiant smile, ready to share an hour of laughter and joy that feels more like a reunion with the Laughing Heads than a revisit to Talking Heads. There's much to celebrate. First and foremost, Talking Heads, the groundbreaking rock, pop, funk, and punk band, is marking its 50th anniversary. This milestone is being celebrated with special releases, including a hilarious new video for Psycho Killer, starring Saoirse Ronan, which somehow manages to breathe new life into the beloved classic. Could this revival lead to a reconciliation among the band members who split in 1991? 2 years ago, the re-release of their concert film Stop Making Sense suggested a thaw in the frosty relationship between Byrne, Chris Frantz, Jerry Harrison, and Tina Weymouth. Weymouth had previously described Byrne as Trumpian and a sly fox who would use you until he has no more use for you. When asked if Talking Heads might reunite, Byrne responds with a wry smile. "We were on TV together, and people said they all seem to be getting along." He chuckles, then delivers the inevitable punchline. "But no, I don't think so. Recreating the feeling of when we were in our early 20s, when people first heard our music, that's a fool's errand. Besides, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing now." This leads us to the second reason for celebration: Byrne's new solo album, Who Is the Sky? It's his first release in 7 years, following the critically acclaimed American Utopia and its successful tour. The new music is a surge of optimism, filled with humor, powerful choruses, and occasional wisdom from a 73-year-old who has lived a life many aspire to. "I'm hearing the new songs offer feelings of hope and humanity," Byrne says. I show him my notebook where I had written down hope and humanity. He admits with a grin, "I read your writing upside down, but yes, it was like therapy given all the things happening in the world, especially in the U.S. Byrne's optimism is fueled by his Reasons to Be Cheerful project, a website and occasional variety show designed to uplift people during tough times. Its newsletter, subtitled A Weekly Dose of Dopamine for Your Inbox, features uplifting stories like how street art in Singapore aids people with dementia, and how we can prevent glass windows from harming birds. People need something like that, Byrne says. It's not to forget what's going on, but to remind people of hope, community, and humanity. Despite politics and social media, they still exist. They haven't gone away. I mention a line from Talking Heads' debut album, Talking Heads 77. "I hate people when they're not polite." Has Byrne been advocating kindness all along? "I read recently that kindness and empathy is the new punk," he says, laughing. Punk used to be about yelling and making noise, but now kindness and empathy are the resistance. There's an incredible openness to Byrne, despite his legendary status with an Oscar, Tony, and Grammy, and over 40 million albums sold. He's a pop star who stays connected with the world, often seen cycling around New York or riding a Lime bike in London. "It's very important for me to see the world as other people do," Byrne says. He lives in New York with his fiancée, Mala Gankar, a businesswoman and artist, and has one grown daughter, Malu, from a previous marriage. Rock stars who hide away create an isolation that cuts them off from ordinary people's experiences. That limits their writing and makes them harder to manage as celebrities. But in New York and here, people see me biking and think, "Oh, it's just David. We see him all the time." Born in Dumbarton in 1952, Byrne moved to Canada at age 2 and to Maryland at 8. He learned guitar, accordion, and violin before secondary school. After a few unsuccessful bands, he moved to New York, forming Talking Heads in 1975. The group gained acclaim with their first album and evolved into something more cinematic with producer Brian Eno. The 1980s brought hits like Burning Down the House and legendary live performances. The band's split allowed Byrne to explore various creative avenues, becoming America's answer to David Bowie. He's written soundtracks and books, started a record label and radio station, collaborated with Fatboy Slim on an operetta about Imelda Marcos, displayed artwork and photos, designed a bike rack, and even played himself on The Simpsons. Next year, Byrne will tour Who Is the Sky. Despite his age, his vitality remains undiminished. I had to go to Los Angeles for a medical procedure, he says, quickly adding, but I'm fine. On his new album, I detected hints of vulnerability and mortality, particularly in the lyric, 1 foot in the pearly gates and 1 foot in the flames. Well, I'm certainly aware I'm older, Byrne admits, but I've tried not to write about aging or death approaching. It creeps in, but it's a well-trodden subject for songwriters. Isn't the song A Door Called No about death? No, the first half is about discrimination. Then it's a love song. Is it frustrating when people misinterpret his lyrics? I can't help but think I've failed if they don't understand what I meant. I am quite a bit more socially comfortable than I was, Byrne says. What's the most absurd interpretation of his songs? The stupidest was when some radio stations refused to play Burning Down the House because they thought it was about arson. One song on his new album, Moisturizing Thing, is about him being moisturized and waking up looking like a baby. Well, thank you, he says with a grin. To some extent, it's true. My fiancé sometimes comes with greasy hands to smear my face. I thought, what if I wake up looking younger? The song has a deeper message about how people judge us by our appearance. You learn a lesson you didn't expect. This blend of fun, strange, catchy songs with universal truths makes Byrne both mainstream and avant-garde. Did his art school background ever make him fear writing popular music? In downtown New York, there's a sense that if something connects with the public, it's selling out. When Talking Heads became popular in the 1980s, some early fans said, "You're too popular." I just thought, your loss. We end our conversation with another project. Byrne's immersive play, Theater of the Mind, co-written with Gayonkar. Using autobiographical elements, it offers a tender look into Byrne's life and ends in a replica of his parents' attic. With an actor reading, you can change the story anytime. Isn't that nice? That line means our memories change, and we're not stuck. Byrne explains, we're not believing the same crazy things we did at 10, or having the same prejudices we had at 20. We keep changing, and that's wonderful. What's changed about himself the most? I'm quite a bit more socially comfortable now. He says, music really helped. It's cathartic, and it's about getting older. He pauses, then adds with enthusiasm, because you can change with time. I have friends who've told me, David, some things you did were ridiculous. I'd invite them over and then hide. I don't do that anymore. Are you looking forward to David Byrne's new album? Let us know in the comments below.